Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me for Wlbt Plus. My name is Kara Shirley and I am your digital news desk host. I'm here to give you some of the latest breaking news that is happening here in the Jackson area and the surrounding communities, as well as just let you know what's been going on, especially today with Monday. Let you know some stuff that happened over the weekend. It was a beautiful weekend, and it's actually a pretty day outside right now. Let's take a look. Let me get this camera pulled up for you guys so you can see what it's looking like right now outside of Flowood. Here we go. So we got some clouds in the sky, nothing too bad. I think we are going to have some rain this week, but for right now at least, it is a beautiful view outside. So we had a lot of things happen in Jackson and, like I said, the surrounding communities over this past weekend. But we do have actually some other breaking news of a murder that happened in Canton. So go and take you guys so you can see a man was shot and killed in the city of Canton over the weekend. This is making the third homicide in the city this year. So the Canton Police Chief, Otha Brown, said that officers received a call around 11 p.m. Sunday that a man was seen unresponsive on Ricks Drive. This is the gentleman on your screen here. When they arrived, they discovered 28-year-old Kelvin Perry had been shot. He was taken to Madison Merit Health, where he did unfortunately later die. Now, Chief Brown says that a home was also shot into in the area, but they don't have any suspects at this time. And no one, of course, has been arrested for the crime. If you have any information on this, please give the Canton police a call. So, other stuff we have going on in the area. There was a man arrested in connection with some auto burglaries that have been happening in Gluckstadt, Madison County, and Byram. So the individual that was taken into custody is this guy right here. His name is Kyler Seamster. He was arrested early Sunday morning, and he is now awaiting his first appearance in the Gluckstadt Municipal Court. Police called him after several people at Bear Creek Crossing complained that their cars had gotten broken into and that the thieves had stolen several things, including some guns. So as it turns out, Seamster had already been arrested in February for being a felon with a firearm in Hinds County. And Judge Johnny McDaniel released him on a $25,000 bond. He was still out on bond when the police called him this time for these auto burglaries in the Gluckstadt, Madison County, and Byram. So one more criminal off the streets, and we will let you know what happens after he goes before the judge of the municipal court. Now, other information, something that happened in Adams County. A man is now in custody for stabbing someone in the chest. The man is Jared Lamar Hauer, and he is accused of stabbing Keith Matthews at the Riverwood Manor Apartments. Sheriff Travis Patton tells us that Matthews was last listed in critical condition. We don't yet have an update on that. They said they did also found the knife that was used in stabbing inside of the gentleman on your screen's apartment. Again, his name is Jared Lamar Hauer, and he is being charged right now with aggravated domestic violence. And authorities have released the names of some of the people that were involved in a capital city homicide that happened on Sunday night. I'll show you the individual. So Charles Walls, who you see on your screen here, he's 36 and has been caught and charged with murder and being a convicted felon with a firearm. So let me get this script pulled up for you. The victim was Charlie Thomas, age 63, and he was shot dead at In Town Suites extended stay off of I-55 North Frontage Road. But again, Charles Wall here has been arrested for the murder. Now, other stuff that we have happening here in the Jackson area. This is the Pearl area. A stolen vehicle was discovered in a Pearl neighborhood, and one person is currently in custody for this crime. So, authorities found the car on Ramona Drive in Pearl around 7:30 on Sunday morning, and the Pearl Capitol Police have been looking for the car after receiving reports of a carjacking. Now, we don't have information right at this moment on who was arrested, the man who is in custody, but as soon as we get that information, we will definitely pass it along to you. Now, another thing happened on the Pearl River near Atwood Water Park on Sunday morning. Around 8 a.m., a fisherman found some human remains floating in the Pearl River. Let me take you so you can see exactly where this was. So here is Jackson, here at the top of your screen. We have Brookhaven here, and if we scroll in or zoom in, you can see where we have Atwood Water Park right here. So investigators say the remains are being examined for identification, and Lawrence County Sheriff Office says to contact them if you are aware of or unaware of any family members' whereabouts. So the remains have not yet been identified. So if you are concerned with anyone that lives in that area, or maybe not necessarily in that area, but they're missing and you would like to inquire, give the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office a call for that. Now, a man is in custody after escaping police 13 years ago. He is a Mississippi man, and he is now back in bars, or back behind bars, rather. His name is, let's see, we got that. Here we go. His name here is Kelvin Perry, and he was caught in St. Louis, Missouri last month and is now in jail at the Carroll Montgomery Regional Correctional Facility. So according to Sheriff Clint Walker from Carroll County, Perry didn't show up for his court hearing after a break in November of 2010. So at that time, he was out on bail for drug charges and was found guilty in his absence. So now that he has been caught, a judge has sentenced Perry to 60 years in prison on that conviction, as well as another 18 years for breaking the terms of a previous conviction. Now, the Jackson Animal Shelter has been closed for about 2.5 years, but they are saying that the animal control officers have still been working hard to reduce the number of strays that are on the streets. So since the shelter closed in 2019, local animal shelters like Mississippi Animal Rescue League and the Animal Rescue Fund have been helping out by taking in stray animals. Officer George Jimerson, he told city council members that when animal control is called, they capture the stray animal and they take them to one of the shelters. But despite their efforts, residents in the city are still having reports of seeing dozens of animals running wild around neighborhoods. Let's talk to hear what one of them has to say now.
I see dogs crossing the street, across the backyards, back in my yard. If I took you back in the back, especially they toting garbage all in the backyard and stuff, you know.
So, according to Jackson Mayor, the empty building was only meant to be used as an animal control unit to house vicious animals. He also said the city is making some improvements to help ease the burden on local shelters. Very thankful for the local shelters that take in the pets and stray animals. I know I've called myself before a chronic adopter. All of my animals have been adopted, and it's just my husband's like, don't let her go near anywhere where animals are available. We will be bringing home a new one. That happens a lot. My poor husband. Well, if you need or find yourself in need of some dental care, we've got some good news for you. So the Key Dental Center in Madison is giving away free dental cleanings, fillings, and extractions as part of their Kindness Day. Now, this is happening April 19th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is on a first come, first served basis, so you want to make sure you get there early. Only the first 100 people are guaranteed to be seen, so you want to make sure you're there. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m., so don't be late so you can be one of the first ones in line. And some more exciting news, you're invited to the Christ United's Jackson event. This is going to be a really fun night with entertainment and inspiration with Holly Brand. Now, you do probably remember Holly. She's a 23-year-old country Christian artist who was on season 23 of The Voice, as she was also Miss Mississippi. She also graduated with my daughter. I know Holly. I know her family. She is a incredibly sweet and kind girl. So all of the proceeds from Holly's visit to the church here is going to be helping out local churches, or local charities and missionaries. So you can come join Holly and the members of Christ United. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the church's sanctuary. It's going to be a good time, and you're going to get to do some good while you're at it by helping local charities and missionaries. And you get to hear Holly. She's got a great voice, absolutely beautiful voice. So there's something else happening in Jackson this Thursday at two of the Mississippi museums. You can check that out. It's the edition of History Happy Hour, and it will include music by the Epic Funk Brass Band, free admission, different foods, and then we'll have a cash bar. Visitors can also join free interactive flash tours to learn about Mississippi's rich, diverse music history. Mississippi does have a lot of music history here. So this begins at 5 p.m. Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I might go check it out. You never know where I might just show up. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we are going to be talking with Courtney and Jackson to get a check-in of what is happening at the Capitol. I will be back in just a few.
Wlbt Morning News gets you ready for what's happening outside your door.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
Wlbt Morning News is where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and how to prepare for news that will impact your day.
Breaking news overnight.
And it's happening right now in Jackson.
On your side with WLBT First Alert weather and anything you need to know for a day with no surprises. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
I'm in pain.
Real people.
It should be terrifying to all of us.
It was dangerous.
Real problems.
I mean, that's unacceptable.
How can we work to change things?
Real life solutions. Investigate TV Plus.
Watch weekdays at 2:30 on WLBT. WLBT Morning News gets you ready for sudden weather changes.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
It's where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and the only station giving you a 10-day weather prediction, not just 7.
Going to zoom into the Jackson Metro so you know what to expect as you head out the door this morning.
WLBT First Alert Weather is Mississippi's most accurate forecast from Mississippi's most trusted station. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app. app.
WLBT First Alert Weather gets you ready for everything. Every sudden weather change, every tornado threat, every day of the year.
Alerting you at the first sign of changes in the weather with Mississippi's most accurate forecast.
Sunshine and chilly mornings, you'll know first.
Need an umbrella? You'll be the first to know.
Strong storms, you'll know first.
Weekend plans? You'll know first.
Because when we know is when you'll know. Be ready for everything with Mississippi's most accurate forecast from the WLBT First Alert Weather Team.
WLBT First Alert traffic in the morning means no more unexpected roadblocks on your morning commute.
I've got the latest on the traffic conditions.
Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me here again. And actually, I got Courtney and Jackson. I got the names reversed.
We're all switched.
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good to be with you.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm very excited. We've been talking about having you come in doing the Capitol check-in for a while, and we're finally excited to get to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Like, it's a little bit of a different session for me because I'm used to being there for the full session, but came back from maternity leave. But it's a longer session than normal, as people may or may not kind of realize. They may feel like it's been a long session, and it has, but that's by design because the first year of a new term for governor and leadership is always a 4-month session versus a 3-month session.
Oh, okay. Well, that's I learned something new today, and I have a feeling I'm going to learn a lot from you because I maybe shouldn't admit this, but I'm not very in tune to the politics of the state.
That's okay. Not everybody is, so we try to break it down to things that people care about and help people understand maybe why they should pay attention to some of what's happening under that dome, as people say.
So tell us what happened or what was going on last week in the Capitol.
So we're doing a lot of continuations of things. So the two big remaining things at the Capitol are education funding, so how your child's schools, public schools, will get money for next year, and then Medicaid expansion. So we can kind of break them down, I guess, one by one. So where we stand on those, education funding, the House and Senate have different ideas about what they think should happen.
Right, of course.
Early on, the House said, we want to create this new kind of funding plan or formula, if you will. And they're calling it the Inspire Act.
Okay.
People have probably heard that or seen things pop up that say Inspire Act under a lot of what we've been doing. They use what they call a weighted student formula. So they're going to say, well, it cost about X amount to educate a child in Mississippi. Now, if they have special needs, we're going to give it this weight. So we'll give them this much, the school, this much more money to educate this child. Or if they have this need, they'll get this much more. So they call them weighted student formulas. The current formula that's been in place for 20 plus years is more complicated than that. And that's always been one of the knocks at that plan. So some members of the legislature for years now have said we need something that's not so complicated. And then the other part of that is that the current formula we have has only been fully funded twice.
Really?
In all of these years. There have been lawsuits about it. And so it's called MAEP. People will hear that and they think, what on earth? It is the Mississippi Adequate Education Program.
Has it been very adequate?
That is always the question. People also will argue, well, should we just be only getting them adequate education, right? That's not exceeding.
Right.
And so, as with everything in politics, people have different thoughts on it. So the House wants to completely scrap it, put in this new formula. The Senate says they would rather just tweak what we already have. They can't come to an agreement.
Yeah.
What's new in politics, right?
Yeah, right.
But this is one that's really risen to the top because the House has said, we don't want to leave here unless we pass our plan.
Wow.
So they've gone so far as saying we would leave here without an education budget if it's not our plan that's adopted.
And so what would that mean?
The governor, schools would still get money, but the governor would have to call them back if they did that. Last week, the biggest kind of developments with education funding were that the legislature, the Senate said, we're not going to take you up on your offer. We don't think we should rush a rewrite of the way we fund schools. Let's talk about it in the summer. The House was so adamant that they revived their bill that we thought had died through another one and said, we're going to try one more time, another bite at the apple. So that's where things stand. We're waiting to see if the two chambers will agree to negotiations or if they'll keep pushing that conversation down the road, have the conversation in the summer. So that's a big one. Medicaid expansion is the other one.
Yes, I've heard a lot about this one.
A lot of people have. I mean, you may have even seen commercials at this point. It's been a fight for a long time now. 10 plus years, for sure the Democrats have been saying, we think we need to do this. The federal government is offering Mississippi money to help subsidize this. So we could put more people on Medicaid, more people in the state could have some form of health insurance through that. It's been Democrats saying that for the most part. What's different this year is that Republicans in both chambers are for the first time saying, yeah, we should do some form of expansion. Not all of them want to call it that.
Yeah.
A lot of them will in fact say this isn't Medicaid expansion. Even though we're adding more people to the rolls, it's not expansion. So maybe just don't call it that, but that's what they're doing. The difference, again, the two chambers have very different thoughts about what to do. The House has proposed what most people call full expansion, so it would offer Medicaid to more Mississippians. They would be eligible under that. The Senate has a little bit more narrow view, and they wouldn't expand it out to as many people. The common thread is that both chambers want there to be a work requirement. So they want to say you have to work X number of hours in a month or a week in order to qualify. It's not the same number. The House is not quite as many.
Yeah.
So again, but there's maybe a negotiating point to start with for Medicaid expansion. That's good. And so the hope is that they will get in a room and have that conversation, hopefully out in the open. The two chambers don't always have those final conversations and negotiations out in the open. Both chambers have said that they believe they will have at least that Medicaid expansion discussion in the open. So we're waiting for that to happen potentially this week.
Awesome.
And then the last thing is the budget. There's
just the budget.
Just the budget. You know, it's a big deal, and it's normally always pushed to the end, so people shouldn't be surprised by that. But we had been told that the gentleman's agreement was to try to have the initial budget done by tax day, which is, of course, today.
Yeah.
So
we shall see.
We shall see. That was probably more information than you were bargaining for on this Monday.
No, we need the information, though. We need to stay informed. I need to be better informed, and so I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And if now we depend on Courtney and here to follow what's happening this week, and you'll be back with us next Monday to tell us all over again.
We'll see what happens. It could be that we're talking about the end of the session. They're set to end at the beginning of May, but they can leave sooner than that. And so there are lots of discussions around the hallways of the Capitol that if they can get this budget done and if they could get some kind of agreement on Medicaid and education funding, they could finish this week or next. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully all good things for Mississippians.
That's right. We will keep watching for that very reason.
Thank you so much,
Of
Courtney.
course.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to give you a look at your forecast, plus have a few national stories for you, so you guys don't go anywhere.
WLBT Morning News gets you ready for what's happening outside your door.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
WLBT Morning News is where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and how to prepare for news that will impact your day.
Breaking news overnight.
And it's happening right now in Jackson.
On your side with WLBT First Alert weather and anything you need to know for a day with no surprises. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
I'm in pain.
Real people.
It should be terrifying to all of us.
It was dangerous.
Real problems.
I mean, that's unacceptable.
How can we work to change things?
Real life solutions. Investigate TV Plus.
Watch weekdays at 2:30 on WLBT. WLBT Morning News gets you ready for sudden weather changes.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
It's where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and the only station giving you a 10-day weather prediction, not just 7.
Going to zoom into the Jackson Metro so you know what to expect as you head out the door this morning.
WLBT First Alert Weather is Mississippi's most accurate forecast from Mississippi's most trusted station. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
app.
WLBT First Alert Weather gets you ready for everything. Every sudden weather change, every tornado threat, every day of the year.
Alerting you at the first sign of changes in the weather with Mississippi's most accurate forecast.
Sunshine and chilly mornings, you'll know first.
Need an umbrella? You'll be the first to know.
Strong storms, you'll know first.
Weekend plans? You'll know first.
Because when we know is when you'll know. Be ready for everything with Mississippi's most accurate forecast from the WLBT First Alert Weather Team.
WLBT First Alert.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me back here on WLBT Plus. I'm going to give you a little look at what is happening with the forecast out there. Yeah, we know right now, we looked at the camera earlier. It is a beautiful day out there. We got a little cloud in the sky, but nothing that is too serious or scary looking. As a matter of fact, let me pull up another shot for you guys right now, looking over downtown Jackson here from the WLBT studio. And here we go. Look at that. So we still got some beautiful blue skies out there. Like I said, a little clouds, but it doesn't look like it's raining right now. I don't think we're gonna have too much of a chance of rain today. But actually, let me give you that forecast, tell you all about it. Our current temperatures right now outside are pretty nice. In my opinion, we're looking at upper 70s, lower 80s. Monticello is the warmest place with a temperature of 81. Hazelhurst is 79, and Jackson and Forest are both 78. So, I mean, it's nice weather out there. It's a great temperature. Get to get outside and enjoy it. So if we look at our current radar, we don't have any rain in the area, so that is good. So we just got some clouds in the sky, but we don't have any rain happening right now. So if we look at our next 12 hours, this is what we're looking at right now. See, it had just changed on me. So we're looking the next 12 hours at a 0% chance of rain. We just got some clouds in the sky. That's about it. Looking to stay around the low 80s today. And then as we go into the overnight hours, dipping down into the upper 60s. But it should be a very pleasant evening for you guys out there. Now, as we look at our 7-day forecast, we can see where our chances of rain do increase as we get closer to the weekend. Wednesday, we're looking at a 40% chance. Then Thursday and Friday, we've got a 20% chance of rain. Our highest percentage so far for our chance of rain is on Sunday with the 50% chance. So, we'll see, we'll keep following that. Make sure you download the WLBT First Alert Weather app so that you can stay updated on our forecast. And of course, if any rain does come into the area, any storms or anything like that, our First Alert Weather team is definitely going to keep you updated on that. So you may have heard about Roku and how a lot of the accounts with them were hacked in a cyber attack. So, let me get my video pulled up. Sometimes it's a lot of buttons, it gets a little confusing. So according to Roku, the hackers obtained access to these accounts through stolen login credentials, and they took advantage of people who use the same login details for multiple accounts. If you're a person that does that, you might want to change up those login informations. So they believe that the login credentials were used to access the hacked accounts, and they were obtained from a data breach on a separate website. So the data breach wasn't on Roku's website, it was on a separate website, but that's where they got the information from. So in less than 400 cases, the hackers used the hacked accounts to make purchases on the Roku streaming service, but they didn't access any sensitive financial information. So if you have a Roku, I have a Roku, that is good to know that they didn't access any sensitive financial information. Now at this time, Roku has refunded all of the affected accounts and reverse charges. The company has automatically reset user passwords and will also be reaching out to users who were impacted by the hack. Now, this is the second time a security breach has happened with Roku this year. The first attack affected 15,000 accounts. So there is a new study that says going to church or a mosque or other religious institution, it could be good for your mental health. They say that it can help you feel like you belong somewhere, help give you a sense of purpose. I believe we talked last week about a story about college athletes, how the suicide rate with them has increased, and how doing something else or having a sense of purpose outside of their platform or their sports, that can help with those numbers coming down. But as far as it goes for the church services, it says that not many people go to religious services anymore, especially young adults. Some experts say that believing in a higher power can help you feel connected to others, especially if you get involved in community outreach. So if they are a church where they do a lot of has community involvement programs for those outside of the church walls, it could help you to feel like you belong. And like I said, it's good for your mental health. So in other news, April is Autism Acceptance Month, and there's I'm used to saying churches. There's a hospital in New Jersey that is taking some major strides to provide people with autism opportunities and some new and unique opportunities, maybe we should say that. So through a Yale school program, students with autism and related disorders can receive job training and placement, which is really awesome. It's Jefferson Cherry Hill Hospital usually has about 6 interns within the program, and they have hired 40% of the interns for jobs at the hospital. I think that is awesome. Just to be able to help out with people who have the disability. But if you know someone with autism, today or this month is Autism Acceptance Month. So make sure that they know that they are loved. Well, guys, I believe that is the end of what we have today. Let me check and see real quick. I'm going to our website to see if there have been any new breaking news that has come out. And I don't see anything at the moment, but you can keep updated by downloading the WLBT3 on your side app, and you'll get updates and alerts every time we have breaking news come through. You can also check out our website, WLBT.com, and don't forget to download the First Alert weather app so that you can stay updated on all weather happenings in our area and in your area, because it'll can tell where you're at and let you know what's coming or happening or anything like that. Well, I'm gonna jump out of here. I'll be back tomorrow at 1, and I hope to see you guys there. I hope you have a wonderful day. Get outside and enjoy these great temperatures before the rain comes in on Wednesday. Bye, y'all.